afternoon, keluarga Malaysia. You're watching updates at noon, and I'm Renee Fong. In our headlines today, government confident of retaining Tasik Chini's UNESCO status. The draft of Improvement Works Report in response to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization's UNESCO first periodical review of Tasik Chini as a biosphere reserve site is completed. Energy and Natural Resources Minister Datuk Sri Taqiyuddin Hassan said the report would be submitted to the world body before 30th of September and expressed confidence that the lake status would be maintained. Datuk Sri Taqiyuddin said his ministry remains committed in preserving Tasik Chini and would implement a big-scale tree planting program in order to conserve the area. He added the state government has given stern warning to ensure that there would be no mineral mining conducted in the area.
Perkara ini telah mendapat perhatian khusus daripada pemangku Raja Pahang sendiri yang amat concern dengan perkara yang berlaku di Chini ini dan baginda amat menitik beratkan perkara ini. Jadi atas dasar itu saya yakin dan percayalah bahawa laporan yang kita akan buat dan tindakan yang kita akan ambil ini akan tidak akan menyebabkan status UNESCO Biosfera ini akan ditarik baliklah.
According to UNESCO's first periodical review of the lake released recently, Tasik Chini no longer meets the criteria to be part of the world network of biosphere reserves. However, UNESCO has given the Malaysian authorities until 30th September to inform the world body on how it plans to nurse Tasik Chini and its surrounding wetlands back to health. Efforts to eradicate human trafficking should not only solely fall on the shoulders of the government, as it needs the involvement of the people as well. Home Minister Datuk Sri Hamzah Zainuddin said while enforcement activities are carried out via various approaches, including air, sea and land, all parties should give serious attention to the issue as national security is a joint responsibility. Datuk Sri Hamzah said to ensure the success of the country on the matter, it is of utmost importance that all Malaysians take an interest in the country's security together and attract more foreigners to come as investors, visitors and workers.
Saya juga menjemput kementerian-kementerian lain, Kementerian Sumber Manusia, Kementerian MITI, Peladangan. Ini adalah kementerian-kementerian yang banyak membabitkan diri atau kementerian tersebut dengan pekerja-pekerja luar, pekerja-pekerja asing. Maka kita nak memastikan segala tanggungjawab itu bukan hanya terhadap majikan tetapi juga pekerja dan seluruh rakyat yang ada seharusnya mempunyai sikap terbuka untuk mengenal pasti masalah atau isu human trafficking dalam negara kita.
The minister also said the government would continue to tighten border control at all gateways into the country, including red trails, apart from stepping up programs to create the people's awareness of human trafficking. Another matter, Datuk Sri Hamzah said the Immigration Department has been instructed to conduct an investigation into allegations that an immigration officer was publicly admonished by a senior government official at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA. He said he had called Immigration Department Director General Datuk Sri Khairul Zaimi Daud to carry out the investigation in order to get a clearer picture of the actual incident. Explaining further, Datuk Sri Hamzah said even though the incident has gone viral on social media, it is important to get clear information so that nobody's image would be damaged.
Saya tahu pasal pegawai immigration yang ada di situ tu, James itu adalah seorang yang baik. Saya selalu bila pergi ke airport jumpa, saya tengok dia pegawai yang baik. Jadi kalau berlaku apa-apa, saya minta supaya semua bersabar dulu, tak payah buat kenyataan yang boleh merosakkan imej sesiapa, tapi siasatan secara dalaman akan saya lakukan.
In an incident yesterday morning, an immigration officer who was on duty as the immigration operations head at KLIA was berated in public because there was no immigration officer stationed at the VIP room counter when the high-ranking government official arrived in the room. The Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, JAKIM, has filed a report to the Home Ministry and the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, so that actions would be taken against the Hadi Minallah group. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, Dato' Idris Ahmad, reminded everyone not to be influenced by the group that actively shared deviated religious teachings by live streaming using the YouTube application.
Ketika kita mengaji tempat-tempat yang di surau masjid yang memang jelas gitu. Dia bila dia mengajar di tempat yang bukan tempat yang ada autoriti benda tu, kena cek tengok. Kan? Dia mengajar di rumah dia, mengajar dalam hutan, mengajar dalam gua atau sebagainya, itu benda yang pelik. Kan? Nasihat saya, benda-benda seperti itu tak sepatutnya berlaku kepada masyarakat Malaysia yang saya rasa advance, masyarakat yang cerdik, masyarakat yang pandai, yang alert di segi medsos sebagainya.
He also advised the public to immediately lodge a report to the authorities if they detect any postings on social media that deviates from the Islamic teachings.
Why do we tell you stories?
Relevant,
New,
efficient,
accurate.
reliable. We bring you extraordinary stories from around the world, from politicians, bankers, and even your favorite celebrities. This and many more on RTM's English News.
The Ministry of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives, KUSCOP, will create a special scheme to help the online entrepreneurial community further stimulate and expand their businesses. Its Minister Tan Sri Noh Omar said the special scheme to be proposed to the government under the upcoming budget would also assist the youth community in particular, who seemingly tend to gravitate towards online business.
Kita harap dalam bajet yang akan datang ni kita cuba nak mencadangkan juga kepada kerajaan supaya wujudkan satu skim khas macam SPIM kita untuk skim pinjaman kecil dan sederhana, pinjaman informal dan mikro, ada skim SPIM. Now kita harap ada satu skim khas untuk usahawan online.
Tan Sri Noh noted that online business is extraordinary and flexible, which enables one to work from home, with government servants capable of achieving income more than their salary. As such, he said the ministry has asked all its agencies to provide a special scheme to help online entrepreneurs. According to him, the special scheme plan would provide the maximum allocation allowed according to the respective agencies under the ministry. Based on data from the Companies Commission of Malaysia during the period from 1st March until 31st October 2020, a total of 373,213 entities registered their businesses with the Commission for the online business category. On another note, the ministry also has introduced the umbrella concept with an allocation of 5 million ringgit to help entrepreneurs boost the production of local products. Tan Sri Noh said that for a start, funds will be allocated through the Rural Economic Development Scheme (SPED), implemented in collaboration with the Ministry of Rural Development (KPLB). Tan Sri Noh explained that the umbrella concept aims to facilitate financial assistance to a company that wants to expand its stockist and agent business. He said the allocation from a KPLB is placed under Bank Rakyat and SME Bank under the purview of his ministry, with the maximum financing at 100,000 ringgit. He further noted that the umbrella concept enables approval of bulk financing by a company and avoids repeated applications to the bank.
Tapi konsep yang kita nak beri kekulusan ini ialah konsep pula secara vokal sebagai contoh. katalah stokis inilah stokis ni dia nak buka berapa lagi dia punya ejen kat bawah. Jadi kalau kata satu ejen tu perlukan nak buka ejen kata perlukan 10,000. Kalau dia nak buka 5 ejen lagi, makna dia perlukan 50,000. Jadi diberikan kelulusan sekaligus. Kelulusan 50,000 diluluskan, tetapi dianya tidak akan diberikan sekaligus lah. Dia nak buka satu, baru kita bagi. Kerana kita nak mengelak daripada orang meminjam 5 kali.
The minister said so far they have received 15 initial applications and they will comprehensively look at the entrepreneur's criteria before the bank approves the next process. The Ministry of Plantation Industries and Commodities is optimistic that Malaysia will be able to achieve 23.6 billion ringgit in rubber gloves export revenue this year. The Malaysian Rubber Glove Manufacturers Association, MAGMA, projected that Malaysia's rubber gloves export revenue is expected to reach 23.6 billion ringgit this year compared to 17 billion ringgit in 2019. MAGMA, in its industry brief 2022, also projected that the year-on-year demand growth rate for rubber gloves is 10 to 12% in 2022. Minister Datuk Zuraida Kamarudin said the projection is made based on a situation under normal circumstances without taking into consideration the 2 years of COVID-19 where the export of rubber gloves soared at that time.
Saya sangat positif, I'm more optimistic kerana culture, budaya, hygiene tu dah terserap dalam manusia seluruh dunia. Jadi keperluan untuk menggunakan rubber glove sebagai satu lifestyle, cara hidup, menunjukkan bahawa kita ni adalah orang yang pembersih. Jadi ini juga akan meningkatkan juga market demand pasaran untuk rubber glove.
She added MAGMA has also identified new countries that Malaysia can penetrate into by ensuring that the country's rubber gloves are still in high demand. In our foreign front, ASEAN warns Myanmar against more executions.
The number of malicious and false statements spread by SMS or social media platforms have become too widespread. The public is advised to be careful and not fall for such ploys and sharing or forwarding such messages. Remember that spreading fake news is an offence under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. This carries a penalty of a fine not exceeding 50,000 ringgit or up to 1 year imprisonment or both upon conviction.
Day 6 of the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games proved to be a dampener for the national contingent with no medals to show. The two athletes in action in the weightlifting and athletics finals failed to deliver the goods for Malaysia, whose medal tally remains at 3 golds, 2 silvers and 3 bronzes. At the Alexander Stadium, national high jumper Niraj Singh Randawa suffered the ignominy of finishing last after becoming the first out of the field of 13 participants to bow out in the men's final. Niraj, who came to Birmingham bent on breaking his national record of 2.30 meters set at the Singapore Open in 2017, failed all 3 attempts of his second jump at 2.10 meter in a packed Alexander Stadium. The 30-year-old revealed that a heel injury he sustained took a toll on his third appearance at the Games after Glasgow 2014 and Gold Coast 2018. Malaysian paddlers put on a dominant display on the first day of the individual event at the National Exhibition Centre. Men's singles paddler Chung Javen downed Ghana's Emmanuel Asante 11-5, 11-6, 11-5, 11-4 and Fiji's Jai Zhou Chan 11-6, 11-1, 11-2, 11-4 in Group 13. National women's doubles pair Chia Yi Se Lai Peijing, the only national shuttlers to be in action yesterday, cruised to a 21-5, 21-6 win over Sabrina Charlene Tamisha Janelle of Barbados in the round of 32 match at the National Exhibition Centre. The pair will next take on Chloe Birch and Lauren Smith in quarterfinals. In lawn bowls, 5-year-old Izwan Abdul Muin recorded his second win after defeating Fiji's Semasa Neseruvati 21-14 in men's singles. The 39-year-old Malaysian will next take on Carol Aaron Olivier of Namibia and England's Jamie Walker in the group stage today.
Unfortunate for Semasa, Fiji.
And that concludes updates at noon. A reminder of our top story: government confident of retaining Tasik Chini's UNESCO status. Tune into news at 10, coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM. Let us symbolise our spirit of patriotism and proudly fly the Jalur Gemilang as a gesture of our love for the country to enliven this year's National Month celebrations. I'm Renee Fong, salam keluarga Malaysia, and have a pleasant afternoon.